We're in Psalm 73. We're tracking Asaph's descent into envy and regret. By verse 13, he regrets following God at all. Why have I done this? Why have I cleansed my heart? Why have I committed myself to the Lord? For all the day long, verse 14, I've been plagued and chastened every morning. Every day. See, here it is. Asaph has entered into a difficult season. Spiritual battle, sickness maybe, depression. He's being plagued somehow. Everybody goes through this. Everybody in life, the powerful, the weak, everybody is susceptible to these kinds of plagues. But in this moment of being plagued, he looks around and he sees people that hate God, that despise God, that defy God. He sees oppressors and violent people who have ill-gotten wealth, who have chased pleasure and sin and wickedness. They're God-denying, but they're flourishing. They seem healthy. They seem strong. They don't seem plagued. By contrast to his burdens, they seem like they're doing fine. And he begins to question the will of God, the providence of God. What's going on here? Why am I sick and they're not? Why am I poor and they're powerful and wealthy? Why am I struggling and they seem to be flourishing? And listen, my friend, we all have been there. If you're a follower of Jesus, you'll go there at times. You'll get to this place where you go through something hard. You look around, other people aren't dealing with that. And you're like, why did I follow God? If it was going to be like this, and they're not following God and they're doing well. That's where he's at. To the point where he's really regretting, at least for the moment, that he followed God. And his heart is throwing up accusations against God. And he just feels stuck in this dark place. Now look at verse 15 and 16. This is kind of the apex or the depth of his being overwhelmed. This is his most overwhelmed point. He says, if I say, I will speak thus, behold, I should offend against the generation of thy children. Listen to what Asaph is saying here. I'm writing about this in this song or this psalm, but if I decide to talk about this, I don't have anybody I can talk to, because there's nobody that I know that isn't a follower of God, and I'm going to offend them. I'm going to be a source of offense to them. I will sow doubt in their hearts. I can't bring this up. Listen, Asaph is a worship leader. He is a Levite. He is serving in the temple. He's in full-time ministry, but he's doubting God. He's doubting his salvation. He's doubting his call. He's doubting his whole system, his whole worldview. What's right? What's true here? He's come into a very dark place, but he's got to do his duties. He's got to go through the worship. He's got to lead singing this Sunday. He's got to open the truth of Scripture and unfold it before God's people. Isn't this amazing? And he says, I've got no one to talk to. I'm in this deep, dark place, and I can't even share with anybody. I'm embarrassed about what I'm thinking, and if anybody knew how I'm thinking, they would be upset. They would be offended. Excuse me. So when he comes to verse 16, he says, when I thought to know this, it was too painful for me. I meditated on this. I'm thinking about this, Asaph's saying, and when I'm trying to wrap my brain and my heart around this, the more I thought about this, the more overwhelming it became to me, and it became a source of distress and pain that I just could not any longer bear. This envy took him down this dark road of doubt and regret, and where he's now so deep into ministry, so deep in and embedded into God's ecosystem and into these relational responsibilities of worship leading. He's so deep into it, he doesn't see any way out. And he's embarrassed to even bring it up because he's going to offend people and become a source of offense. It's going to cost him dearly. He's going to lose relationships. He doesn't have anybody he can talk to. And when he begins to think about this and meditate on this, it is literally overwhelming. Now, I'm telling you, I am encouraged just by the fact that God preserved these words in his word, that these are divinely inspired scriptures, that a psalmist went to this depth of despair and doubt with God and took these thoughts to pen to journaling them with God, to sharing his journey. God bless Asaph, because though in the moment he couldn't speak and he didn't have anybody to talk to, he ultimately did the right thing in journaling and chronicling this experience and showing us the full journey. Now we're going to close today at this cliffhanging moment of it's too painful, I can't bear it. But I'm just going to say, you can read the rest of the psalm if you want to, but I'm just going to say, my friend, God understands this journey. And if you're on this journey of envy that's taking you to despair and question and doubt and disappointment with God, and life seems harder than you'd expected it to be, and you're going through a difficult time, write it out to God. Describe the experience to him. And don't try to wrestle with this yourself. It will be overwhelming. It will encompass your soul, and it will be too painful for you to plow through. But God doesn't expect you to be strong in and of yourself. So air these complaints and these concerns and these reasonings to him, and he will take your heart to a good place. And so will Asaph on Monday. Have a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday.